Welcome to the Enhancement Talent Podcast.
Any man with two hands has a fighting chance.
You're only half the man that I am, and I have half the brain that you do.
What?
You are a sniveling little suck-up sellout full of suffering succotash, son.
What?
I'm not burning with you. Give me a hell yeah.
We are back and better than ever, like Eric Bischoff's theme song. Welcome everyone to the Enhancement Talent Podcast. Wherever you may be, and however you may be listening, we appreciate you stopping by. This is actually an Enhancement Talent Extra. Extra, listen all about it. Review of the first ever, in case you hadn't heard, the first ever all-women's WWE, that is, pay-per-view.
And probably the last for 25 years.
That's very true. But, yes, the first ever all-women's pay-per-view. The first ever this, the first ever that, the first ever everything. That took place Sunday. I'm recording this Monday night. So, overall, very fun show, I thought. The crowd was very much... I haven't even introduced Chris yet.
Jeez, I feel so special.
Yeah.
God.
Joined as always by Chris Kirby.
Yeah.
Yeah, carrying on.
As we were.
The crowd in Long Island, in the Nassau Coliseum, very much reacted to everything on this show. And pretty much just the way that I imagine WWE would want them to.
It's got to be the best reaction for a total pay-per-view.
Yeah.
In history.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that for the most part. Normally, Nassau Coliseum, it's hit or miss sometimes with that crowd, but in this environment and for this event, everyone was all in on it.
Yeah, it was good.
And, the only real negative, and at least the big negative that I'll get into with this show, is just the amount of self-promoting we got throughout this, with the first ever all-women's pay-per-view, and how revolutionary this is, and all sorts of things like that. And it just seems hypocritical to me that WWE is celebrating themselves for breaking a tradition that they started.
Well, it to me it's funny because, yeah, they're celebrating themselves for doing something for women when, well, shit, women got the right to vote, 60 years ago?
Yeah.
WWE's just now coming into that. Congratulations.
Back in, 1969.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, you look back and there were plenty of interviews. There was even one, Lillian Garcia, who was at this show. That was nice.
I like seeing Lillian. She's awesome.
She said that there were some pay-per-views where the only woman on the show was her. And, thank you WWE for fixing the problem you should have fixed 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But, nonetheless, I was not enthralled, as if you listened to the last show we recorded, I was not too enthused or excited about seeing this pay-per-view just because of the build-up that we got to it and really the lack of caring, seemingly, on WWE's part to not really give the storylines and the women in this show the proper build that they really should have had. But, I mean, there's not one match on this card that I can't say delivered beyond what I expected. So, to me, that's a sign of a very good pay-per-view, is that every match, by some standard exceeded what I expected of it, I thought.
Okay, I'm confused. You just contradicted your own self.
What do you mean?
Because you just stated that not a single match went above what you were expecting.
No, I said it exceeded what I was expecting.
Before that, you said not a single one went above what you were expected.
Well, if I did say that, I did not intend that.
I was gonna correct you, but I was gonna let you finish first.
Okay. Well, if I said that, that's not what I meant. I meant that
every match was great.
Every match was better than what I thought it would be.
Okay.
And we kicked off right away with the
best ever.
Yeah, the besties, Trish Stratus and Lita.
Gotta love that.
Yeah, that's a staple from now on.
I hope they use it on air one day.
Michael Cole could trip up and say that sometime.
I could see that, or Byron.
But they kicked off, and we had Alicia Fox and Mickie James as Alexa Bliss with concussion, was not able to perform, but she was accompanying them to the ring.
Yes.
So, how crazy is it, though, that we ended up with Alicia Fox being in this marquee match?
She had no business to be there. She had no part of this match, but I understand they had to have somebody.
Yeah.
But I think they could have found somebody else from the Trish and Lita years to team up with Mickie.
Okay. And then you could have just made it an
OG match.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there were girls in the Battle Royal that I guess could have fit that bill.
Yeah, I mean, they were going to lose anyway, so you might as well get some nostalgia out there.
I mean, Ivory looked great in that Battle
She
Royal.
did.
She
did great during that dance break.
She looked like she could have gotten in this match and done something.
Michelle McCool, another one that could have done something, I think.
Yeah, but for what it's worth, I didn't think Alicia Fox, for the most part, was too bad in this match.
No.
But I really did think that Mickie James really did carry this match, in the sense that Alicia is not the greatest worker in the women's division. As long as she's been here, she's definitely not in that class, and with Trish and Lita not having this sort of match and so much time, I felt like they really definitely relied on Mickie to really carry this one, and she did a very good job of doing that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think it helps that Mickie, Lita, and Trish all have history together.
Yeah.
So they know each other at least a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. And what really helped this match, as it did with every match, is that Lita and Trish got a superstar reaction as soon as they came out.
As soon as the bell rang, the Lita chant started.
Yeah.
I mean, the second that bell rang.
Yeah, throughout this match, everyone was into Trish and Lita.
You still got it. Lita.
Yeah.
I mean, I was all in it.
Yeah. Very good stuff. So, there was a bit of a botch in the finish, in that Alicia missed her spots of breaking the pin after the
you caught that
Stratusfaction by Trish to Mickie, and the referee embarrassingly has to stop the count while Alicia jumps in and breaks it up about 3.5 seconds too late, probably.
Yeah, and we're not the only ones that noticed. The whole crowd booed.
Yeah. I'm surprised there wasn't a Botchamania chant. So after that, Lita hit a twist of fate on Alicia. Trish hit a chick kick on Mickie for the win. And Lita and Trish pick up the win here on this show. There's been reports that they could be hanging around longer on a sort of a pay-per-view to pay-per-view basis, depending on if it's a big show and if they need something for them to do.
Well, that's kind of cool, though. I like that.
Yeah.
I guess that'd be like a Legends contract?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's plenty of matches I would like to see them have. Trish and Lita against Sasha and Bayley was something I would have mind seeing for this show.
Oh, God, yeah, that would be great.
Or even just something like Trish versus Sasha one-on-one, because they kind of built to that in the Women's Royal Rumble early this year, when I think Sasha eliminated Trish.
I think so.
Yeah.
But if you listen to Michael Cole, and you listen to the history that Trish, Lita, and Mickey have, Mickey retired Lita in a retirement match. Mm-hmm. And she was also the last person that Trish had a match with.
Yeah.
So, I think a triple threat between the three.
Mm-hmm.
Old school triple threat match.
Yeah. That's something they could do.
Just something, even if it's a pre-show match.
Yeah. Or even if it's just on TV.
Or just on TV. That'd be awesome to me.
Yeah, that'd be something cool.
Maybe it's because I grew up watching them.
Yeah.
A lot of people may not have the connection that I do because I grew up watching it every damn week.
Yeah, well, I'm sure a lot of people, because there's plenty of people that did grow up in that time period and really connect with that era very well.
But a lot of people, you mentioned Attitude Era, it's The Rock, it's Stone Cold, it's Edge, it's men, no women.
Right. Yeah, and there's certainly women that you can associate with it, and I would definitely associate Trish and Lita especially because Lita with the Hardy Boys was one of the hottest things at that time, really.
She's still the hottest thing.
Yeah, so good opening to the show, though.
If you didn't watch it, it was dark.
Yeah, so
it was dark, like they could not afford to pay the power bill.
Yeah, so the lighting was very different for the show, at least for main roster shows. It looked similar to what you'd see on an NXT TakeOver show, where the lights are focused solely in the ring, and there's not much to light the crowd, and you can't really see the crowd that much. And I speculate that they have Raw tomorrow or today, SmackDown on Tuesday, and then they have the Crown Jewel show at Saudi Arabia. Is that maybe they had to transport all that stuff and just didn't have enough equipment to be able to do it properly.
I don't know. I think your first thought was right about more like an NXT show.
Yeah, and they could have been trying to create that sort of intimate sort of setting that sort of created.
Yeah.
And
it was different though.
The outside and the ring was set up differently too, with the barricade. They had the guardrails in some spots instead of the traditional barricades.
Yeah.
There wasn't as much room on the outside.
Yeah, there wasn't. I noticed that because nowadays it's like you'll get about 2 sets of mats on the outside.
Yeah,
and I think this one only had 1.
Yeah, there definitely wasn't as much room.
But it was still all right. It was a little dark. If you're looking at the hard camera and you look in the background, all you see is this floating poster.
Yeah.
You don't see hands or anything, just a poster.
Right. So, onto the women's battle royal, the creative has nothing for you battle royal.
But it was better than I expected.
Yes, and what I did like too is that everyone got their own entrance.
I like that.
We didn't cut to a commercial and everyone was in the ring,
or just everyone, a couple,
or everyone comes down to the ring at once,
except for like the main person.
Yeah. And you kind of gave everyone that reaction from the crowd. You
gave everybody the feeling that they are important.
Yeah, and the Iconics are the last ones to enter, and they both have microphones.
Which you know what that meant? I fast forward.
Oh, but I like this promo.
I did too. It was quick and silent.
Yeah, they say the women in the ring paved the way. And now they will pave the way for them over the top rope and back to obscurity. And naturally, of course, they enter the ring and everyone circles in on the Iconics and eliminate them.
Which is okay with me.
I thought it was a good use of the Iconics. It was pretty fun.
They had nothing else to do, so it was a good use.
Yeah,
I
enjoyed the start.
Now, before this match even started, we've seen a ton of Battle Royals and Royal Rumbles. It made me think, with as athletic as some of these women are we going to see anything like Kofi? Anything special, like walking on your hands or anything like that? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, not quite, at least in this match.
No, it wasn't. But it's okay, Kofi is the king of Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And I was just hoping to maybe see something spectacular like that.
Well, I would think they want to save those sort of spots for the actual Royal Rumble, too.
Well, yeah, but as a women's battle royal, it just would have been nice to see something.
Yeah. Could have been something like that. But, so, early on, Mandy and Sonya Deville eliminate a few people before Mandy turns on Sonya and knocks her off the apron onto the floor to eliminate her.
Which was surprising as hell.
I'm not going to say it's surprising because
at this early in the match, it was surprising. Yeah. I mean, I would expect it, but not this early when you were doing so well together to get rid of people.
I would just about guarantee they won't follow up on that at all.
Oh, no.
And Mandy and Sonya will just continue teaming.
They might mention it in a backstage segment. Oh, it was every woman for themselves. Okay, yeah, I'll hug, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Friends.
Yeah. Maybe they need a week of counseling.
Oh. Back to Dr. Shelby.
Then why not?
So, there was a cool moment early, too, where Nia and Tamina go face-to-face, and they look like they're about to fight each other, but then they both, at the same time, do an ooh-ah.
Double headbutt.
And then go after everyone else in the match.
Well, double headbutt to Lana. Yeah. When Lana tried to tell him to stop fighting.
I don't know what that was,
well,
to be honest.
You could barely hear her, but she said, "Have a happy Lana day."
Yes.
And it's like, really?
Yeah, I don't know what Lana was doing here.
That's a Rusev thing, not a Lana thing.
Yeah, but Lana's tried to make it her own, too.
And it's not working. At least not for me.
Yeah, so,
But let's get to the main excitement of this Battle Royal.
Well, the best part for me was certainly when Asuka and Ember Moon face off.
Okay, that was a good one.
Yes, and
but the best
loud chants of NXT.
Oh God, yes. That crowd just erupted.
And this crowd loved Ember Moon.
If you think about it, they loved everybody that was fresh from NXT.
Yeah,
they were going crazy.
Yeah, they definitely. I think they wanted Ember to win this match, but by the end they were happy anyway. So,
but we can't forget in the middle of the match with Carmella.
Oh yes,
the dance break.
Yes, Carmella does a dance break with everyone down, and who would join in but Ivory?
Ivory gets up and wants to do a dance break.
Yeah, that was something.
It was interesting. I mean, old school, new school.
Yeah. I liked it. It was a cool moment for Carmella.
It is. I mean, that's like the only good moment she has anymore is dance breaks.
Yeah. And they showed R-Truth in the crowd.
When she was coming in and when you were dancing, yeah. That was great. I was kind of hoping he'd jump the barricade and start flossing too.
Yeah, so by the end here, it comes down to Nia and Ember, or so we thought, until Zelina Vega gets back into the ring.
I thought she was out. Maybe she just hid from me.
I just forgot that she was even in the
She's
match.
so small, and she just disappeared from get-go.
Yeah.
I bet she was hiding under the ring the whole time.
Yeah. So Zelina appears, and as Ember and Nia are both trying to get each other over the top rope, Zelina comes in and tries to push both of them over.
Mm-hmm.
And they both just land on the apron, and Zelina turns around thinking that she's won the match, before Nia Jax comes in and gorilla presses Zelina Vega, and she goes to throw her to the outside, and here I'm thinking there's going to be 6 people standing there to catch her.
Yeah.
But lo and behold, only Tamina is down there. And Nia throws her, and Zelina hits Tamina right in the face.
Yeah, it looked like she hit her nose or something.
And not only does Tamina get hurt on this because Zelina hits her right in the face, but then Zelina doesn't even get caught and she just goes right down to the floor.
Yeah.
So it was a fail all around for that one. But so it comes down to Nia and Ember, and eventually Nia does eliminate Ember for the win, and she does some promo after that. So it looks like our next program is Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey again.
But that's okay.
Yeah, I mean,
They stepped away from that program.
I don't hate it, and I liked their first match before Bliss cashed in.
Yeah.
I picked Ember Moon, and I would have liked her to win, just to have someone that hasn't been there get that sort of push up to the top against Ronda. Even if you don't win, I think just having a match with Ronda Rousey and having a competitive match with her is a big step in the right direction for someone like Ember Moon, who's really sort of floundered a lot throughout this time that she's been on the main roster.
But think what this could do and what it could set up. If Nia wins against Rousey and Ember challenges, think of the match. Ember and Nia. Good friends, going for the title.
Yeah, but I don't think Ronda is dropping the title anytime soon.
No, probably not.
If they do a Ember and Nia thing, it'll probably be a non-title, I would imagine.
Probably, but I mean, either one I'd be okay with.
Yeah, and of course, as soon as it comes down to those two, Michael Cole is like, "Oh, they're buddies.
Yeah,
they're friends."
Spirit of competition. I don't know how many times I heard that during that match.
Yeah. I don't like the whole friendship thing. I'd rather just have people trying to kill each other, but that's just
But you can't have that when you got two heels, two faces going at it.
Yeah, you can. It's all about winning.
Well, yeah, it's about winning, but that's the spirit of competition.
Yeah. Alright, so going to the next match, we had the Riott Squad against Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Natalya.
Yeah.
And I wasn't excited for this match, and it was better than I would have thought it would have been, but it was mostly still just a Raw match that we've seen several times,
like the past 5 weeks in a row.
Yeah, and some variation.
The only thing I really have to say is it looked like Ruby Riott's tattoos are darker. Now, we talked about this off the air, and it could be the lighting. But it also looks like she got fresh ink done. Or maybe she just rubbed Vaseline on herself or something just to make it pop. But it looked darker. All of them look darker.
I like how you say the only thing I have to say is not about the match at all.
Well, I've seen this match 100 times in the past 5 weeks. That's the only thing different.
They did do some cool stuff, and they worked over Bayley for a while when I can't remember which one it was. Maybe it was Logan that did Bayley is diving from the outside of the ring, and she dives where the post is, where it meets the ring.
Oh yeah.
And whichever member of the Riott Squad does a running drop kick and sends her into the post.
Yeah, that was Logan because Ruby and Liv were on the other side of the post, and it looked like she was going for maybe a drop kick or under the rope.
Yeah, I liked that.
That was a good one. I liked that.
And then they work over Bayley for a while. Sasha did channel her inner Brie Bella with a failed dive here.
Oh my God, did you see that?
That the Riott Squad caught her and didn't make it look as bad as it could have been when they caught her and drove her into the barricade.
But, I mean, come on.
Yeah, she did not get too far.
Her and Brie must have been working it out in the back.
But it was also tough because there wasn't a lot of room on the floor. So how far she can actually dive, I don't know if that factored into her thinking of it. But
she didn't even dive.
Yeah, she kind of just fell on the apron.
She just flipped over and sat down.
Yeah, pretty much. It basically looked like you were getting thrown over the top rope in the Battle Royal.
Yeah, pretty much. Did we skipped the Mae Young Classic?
Did I?
Yeah, that was before.
So, yeah, the Mae Young Classic was actually first, but we'll cover that in a second. We'll work in reverse order.
This is our podcast. We do what we want.
Yeah. So, when we get into close to the end here, Ruby has Sasha down and goes on the top rope, but Bayley crawls on top of Sasha, and Ruby, I think she hit some sort of senton or something like that, and Bayley took the hits for Sasha, essentially. Natty did her silly-looking double sharpshooter on Logan and Ruby Riott.
Well, you know why she did that, right?
What's that?
The double armbar by Rousey. Nobody has ever tried it until Rousey did it.
Yeah, but I've seen Natty do this before.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, she does it in a lot of these multi-person matches.
Did she do it before Rousey did it?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Yeah. I remember there was one time she did it on 3 people, and it just looked dumb.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so... But meanwhile, while she has them in this, Liv Morgan made a blind tag and took control over Natty. And then Natty would eventually get a powerbomb, then be able to tag in Bayley. Bayley hits the elbow drop as Sasha tags in, and Sasha hits a frog splash on the other side for the win.
Which, her frog splashes look good. I think Eddie would be proud.
They're certainly not as good as Eddie's.
Well, whose is? I mean, really.
I mean, Kevin Owens is pretty good.
His is good, but, I mean...
Sasha doesn't get a lot of air. It's just the main thing.
Well, that's because, no offense to the women out there, but men are usually stronger, so they have the leg strength to push off more.
Yeah, it just depends. Like, you look at Kairi Sane's elbow drop.
Oh, gosh, she gets 30 feet in the air.
Yeah.
And then it's just straight down. She doesn't move or nothing. It's awesome.
So, no discrimination. But,
no, not at all.
But she does not get as high as other people.
No.
But either way, though, cool finish, and it was good to see Banks pick up a win. Hopefully, we build Sasha back up after she's been sort of, and Bayley too, for that matter, in limbo for so long.
Maybe they'll team them up some more, and and go against somebody besides the Riott Squad.
Yeah.
That makes sense anyway.
Yeah.
Don't just team them up just with a couple jobbers.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many more teams they can have.
Put Kurt Hawkins in there. I mean, they're going to win anyway.
Yeah, so backtracking, we had Io Shirai versus Toni Storm for the final of the Mae Young Classic.
Good match.
And this one, it only went about 10 minutes, so...
Yeah, not very long.
This was the only one I could say that I felt like it could have maybe used more time, but for what they had, it was a good showcase of what both of them can do. There was a good Io hit a moonsault from the top rope to the floor, and one of the better moments was when Toni Storm hits the snap German suplex on the apron to Io Shirai.
Oh, yeah.
Which, if you did not know, it is the hardest part of the ring.
Oh, God, yeah.
As we are always informed.
Well, you would know.
Yeah, it truly is the hardest part of the ring.
I mean, you have more experience in a ring than I do. Which isn't much. But you've been there.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you have to have experience to know that the apron's the hardest part
No,
of the
but
ring.
you felt it. You could actually tell the difference without looking at it on TV.
I guess that's true. I'm an expert on this.
Well, more of an expert than me. Which ain't saying much.
Yeah, so Shirai would go for a moonsault after she hits the double knees in the corner, but Storm gets her knees up and hits her, what is it called? The Storm
Zero.
Which is like a tiger bomb sort of thing.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
And she had 2 of them, and the second one got the win.
And it looks like a good move, but she does not get enough height when she's taking up the opponent.
Yeah, it's kind of a quicker move.
Well, I mean, it's quick, but it almost looks dangerous to the fact that you don't get her up enough before you fall.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Both of them look that bad, too.
Normally with that move, you don't go all the way up.
Oh, okay. So it's not
I think.
Because to me, it almost looked like a sit-down powerbomb.
Yeah. When they have, when they do, the double underhook there, I don't think normally they go all the way up with it. Normally they go about halfway and then do that.
Well, then, forget that rant, then.
Yeah, I don't know. At least that's my recollection of people using that move.
I mean, I've never seen anybody actually use that move. specifically. You know, I don't
Yeah.
I don't watch NXT or anything, so I don't know what moves they do there.
Mm.
And I don't know if they've done this move or not, but
Yeah, well, I'm assuming Toni Storm has used it throughout the Mae Young Classic that I have not watched.
and I have not watched but one episode, and she was not on it.
Yeah, so after the tag match, we had Kairi Sane versus Shayna Bayzler for the NXT Women's Championship. And, you know, good match. I don't think it was the best match that they've had.
I wouldn't know.
I think some of their takeover matches were better than this one. But, nonetheless, I love Shayna. And I thought she was masterful in this match and targeting the arm and just being that sort of foil for Kairi, who wants to get to the top rope and fly, and Shayna's keeping her grounded and working over her arm.
She looked like... to me, Shayna looked like a Rousey clone.
Similar-ish.
And it may just be because they are both MMA.
Yeah.
And they're both going after the arm. They're both doing a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
But it just seems like copy and paste again.
Well, I think that Shayna is more just like the heel version of Ronda.
So, what, are we going to get Ronda versus Shayna?
I hope so. But
that'd be awesome.
Apparently not.
Maybe in
not
UFC.
Apparently not yet, though, because Shayna would win this match with the help of her 4 horsewomen of MMA.
The other 2 horsewomen.
Yeah, not Ronda. Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir.
But which, again, I mean, both of them are great. They were in the Mae Young Classic last year.
Yeah, and they've been working on this for a good while.
Yeah, because they are signed, aren't they?
Yeah, I believe both of them are. And
so now all 4 of them are signed.
Yeah,
so just a matter of time.
Yeah, and
WrestleMania.
So they help Shayna out. Shayna would eventually get the choke in on Kairi, who would not tap out but pass out.
Now, am I wrong? Isn't that the same coquina clutch that Samoa Joe uses?
Yes.
Okay.
Essentially. I don't remember if she calls it something different, but I just always call it the choke, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't catch the name of it, but it looks similar except for the fact that she didn't wrap her legs around and lock her ankles.
Yeah. So, I was surprised that Shayna won this, as I figured that she'd be called up soon. But I guess we're going to get a longer Shayna run in NXT with possibly Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke in her corner throughout this. So
I was just thinking
fascinating.
You think maybe they're waiting to pull her up until one of the others are ready?
Yeah, maybe that is something, is that they want to get the other 2 more work in NXT.
I was just thinking if one of them is ready, and with all the talk of the women tag titles, coming up together to the main roster with a tag partner would further cement the fact that it's possible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely something that could have been. So,
but a good match.
Yeah, good match. But we'll go from a good match to
the match.
The match.
The match of the night, the match of the month. Screw it, it's the match of the year.
Yes.
And no, I'm not talking about Rousey. We're talking about Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Women's title.
Last woman standing.
Last woman standing. Oh my God.
So, we go straight away with the video package. And I only note this because they show the segments with Becky and Edge. And when Becky says something that in reality the crowd cheered, WWE decided to edit to that and edit in boos. Which was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe they were in that footage came from an alternate reality, or if they were on some other planet, but here on Earth 1, the crowd went crazy for Becky telling Edge not to hurt his neck on the way out of the ring.
Yeah, It's a Vince McMahon thing, I guess.
Yeah. Well, she's a heel, goddammit. She needs to be booed.
Yeah, well, that's not how it works nowadays.
So, right away, this was just such a hard-hitting match with the weapons that Becky right away is wailing on Charlotte with a kendo stick.
Mm-hmm.
There's spots later where both of them are on opposite sides of the ring, and they each, one after another, just throw a bunch of chairs into the ring.
Why are there so many damn chairs under the ring? Really? Who in the hell is sitting down there? Does Hornswoggle have his whole family down there watching this show? What is going on with all the chairs? I don't get it. I understand one or two for a backup, but you've got a damn whole row of chairs sitting underneath the ring.
Yeah, they were there only to hit people.
But it's like, come on, common sense. Make it look realistic at least. I know it's scripted,
but
come on!
I don't know, and even in the kayfabe world, though, I think that the chairs are there to hit people with.
I don't get it. There's just too many damn chairs. I'd rather see him go to the audience, get somebody out of their seat and take their chair. They used to do it in the old days.
Yeah. So Becky gets all the chairs and she puts them in a nice compact pile, and but Charlotte would hit a back suplex onto the chairs, and after that Becky would get a slam of her own on Charlotte onto the chairs. Charlotte took a lot of punishment in this match.
Oh God, she did.
Especially with those kendo stick shots at the beginning. Like,
in the chair shots?
Yeah, there were some visible welts there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was no holding back on any of these.
This match gave me the feeling I got when I watched Sasha and Bayley at TakeOver.
Yeah.
That's what the feeling I got. It was just excitement all over.
Right, I agree. And let's see. We get Becky setting Charlotte up on a table in the ring, but Charlotte would get up and get Becky on the table, and she does a moonsault, but the table doesn't break.
Yeah, but I know I just watched it, but I can't remember. But it looked like she kind of overshot.
Yeah, she didn't hit the table as much as she just hit the edge.
Yeah, and that's why it just tipped over.
Yeah, it just tipped over, but Charlotte said, to hell with this, and put Becky right back on the table and hit a senton and sort of a swanton bomb, I guess, just through the table.
That's what I wrote. It was a swanton bomb.
Yeah, this time it went straight through. And it actually kind of reminded me, though, of the Becky and Sasha Hell in a Cell match that they had, when the finish was very clunky because Charlotte tries to put Sasha through a table, but it doesn't break.
Yeah.
And instead of redoing the spot, they rushed to the finish, and Charlotte just hit a natural selection and ended the match. And apparently that's something that really dampens some of these women's matches, is that they have everything down to a T of what they're going to do, and that when something doesn't happen the way it's supposed to, they kind of they're not really allowed to improvise as much. But here,
well, maybe Vince and WWE drill it into them, that, hey, if you mess up, just end it.
Yeah.
Just pretend it never happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like they do with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but here, Charlotte improv'd and made sure that damn table broke.
Which was good, because if it didn't break and they went on from that, I'd be like, what the hell?
Yeah, that would have put an asterisk.
Especially with this kind of match.
Yeah. So, both of them would get up at 9 at this, and Charlotte would get a ladder and bring it into the ring, and she is slammed onto it by Becky, but later Charlotte would lock in a figure 4 in between the ladder with Becky's legs through the ladder and into the figure 8.
But if you look, when Becky slammed Charlotte on that ladder, the way she hit and the angle she hit, that broke my back just watching it.
Yeah, it did not look pleasant.
And you could see it in her face. It hurt.
Yeah, like I said, Charlotte took some abuse. And, Charlotte does the figure 4 to the figure 8, and Becky is eventually able to get out of it by grabbing a chair and just hitting it.
Hitting her shin.
Yeah. Really, like, right in her kneecap. Like,
was it her kneecap, or I thought it was her shin?
In that area.
But yeah, and,
right below the knees.
And it was, the top of the chair, the hardest part.
Yeah, not like a traditional chair shot, but the top of the chair just being dug into the
bone.
leg. Yeah. So that was a good way of getting out of that. So Becky tries to take her championship and leave through the crowd.
Typical heel move. I wasn't expecting anything less because it was just part of the show.
Yeah. So Charlotte tracks her down and she chops her back to ringside. And these were some hard chops.
Yes, they were.
Becky's chest area looked like the Daniel Bryan's at the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Oh my god, it looked like ground meat.
Yeah. So, going on later, Charlotte clears the announce table and sets a ladder up next to it. But while she's setting up the ladder, Becky would recover and she would beat on Charlotte and get her on the table. She would climb to the top, well, not the top, but like almost to the top of the ladder, and she would do a leg drop through the announcer's table.
Which I thought that was it.
Yeah. So, Becky's up, and the ref is at a count of 9 for Charlotte, and she's on her knees, but the count stops for some reason.
Because her foot actually touched the ground. She wasn't on her feet. She should have lost that match.
Yeah, it's both feet standing straight up.
Yeah, but she had one foot that was flat, and I think she still had her hand on the ground, too.
Yeah, so Becky wasted no time, though, going straight back after her, and she would bury her in all of the announcers' chairs.
And all the other crap.
All the chairs and all the tops of the announcers' tables and whatever she could find.
Kind of looked like when Braun Strowman got buried by all them chairs.
Yeah. Right. They've done that spot a few times in these last man standing matches. But Charlotte rises from the ashes.
At, count 9.99.
Yeah. And what was great, though, was Becky's selling of this. She legitimately looked like she had seen a ghost.
Yeah.
She was terrified of this Charlotte. I did forget to mention, though, there was also, when she does the leg drop through the announcer's table, Charlotte, as she starts to get up, just goes, "Is that all you got?"
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, something along those lines. So, after Charlotte rises through the ashes, and Charlotte would attack Becky with the kendo stick and hit a spear on the outside. One thing I noted was that these kendo stick shots from Charlotte seemed like they were dangerously close to hitting someone in the front row.
I wouldn't be surprised. It would be the first time somebody in the front rows got hit with stuff on accident.
Yeah, because there was, as we said earlier, there wasn't as much room on the floor as to the crowd.
And you gotta look, those kendo sticks are 4 foot long.
Yeah.
And when you start swinging it, if you got somebody around you, they better duck.
I was waiting for someone to lead into one so they could sue.
Well, let me know next time they come to town.
They're in Charlotte tonight.
Well, I'm 4.5 hours away.
So, Charlotte sets Becky up on the table on the outside that had been set up way earlier in the match.
Yeah.
And Charlotte is climbing the turnbuckle looking for a moonsault. But Becky gets up and powerbombs Charlotte through the table. Charlotte attempts to get to her feet, and she gets oh so close, but could not muster the strength to get all the way to her feet. And Becky would retain her title here.
And, we need to stress the fact that that powerbomb is from the top rope to the floor through a table.
Yeah.
So...
Well, was it from the...
the middle rope?
Charlotte was on the middle rope, but it was mostly just off the apron.
Yeah, Becky was on the apron.
Yeah.
But still, from the apron to the floor, through a table.
Yeah.
These women put themselves through hell to give us a match.
Yeah, I give both of them a ton of credits.
I mean, this match, I think, made the night.
Yeah. So, I would argue that this is the best women's match in WWE history. At least for sure, I can for sure say it's the best main roster match.
Okay, I can agree with that.
Women's match. The only
except
the Sasha and
the old
Bayley,
school bra and panties matches, man.
Stop.
No, I'm kidding.
The only one that I could say would come close to this in WWE would be the Sasha and Bayley Brooklyn match.
But yeah, and that's TakeOver.
Yeah.
So main roster match, yeah, this is probably the best in history.
Yeah. So, God, they
tore it down,
killed each other in this match, and of course the crowd was heavily behind Becky throughout, and she got a superstar reaction for everything she did.
Yeah. I think Becky's going to be the champ for a while. I think the crowd's just too over with her.
Yeah. I was worried that they would switch the title here, but ultimately I think they realized what everyone else sees is that Becky is just far too hot right now to take the title off of her, and Charlotte is far too cold, for that matter, to put the title on her.
Well, I mean, you can't go from title picture to title picture like Charlotte does.
Yeah.
You have to do something to earn your way to make people want you to win.
Yeah, they do need to do some sort of secondary feuds, because one of the other things that I'm not sure how many people realized, this was the only SmackDown match on this show.
Yeah.
Aside from
the Battle Royal.
The ones in the Battle Royal. This was the only SmackDown match. And you need to really build secondary feuds. And I guess it's harder on SmackDown. They only have 2 hours, but they can do it.
They've done that before.
They only have 2 hours, but they have 2 hours every week. Not everything has to be on the show every week. You can rotate things to have multiple storylines going on at once, and not just the women's title being the only storyline.
Because, I mean, frankly, I'm tired of Charlotte. Oh, title picture. I'm here. I want a title shot. Oh, wait, I lost. I want another title shot. Oh, you win? I get a title shot.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this was the last match for Charlotte and Becky, because
at least for a while.
They can't follow this, obviously.
No, there's no way.
Well, maybe they could. I mean, if they had this match, I'm sure they could have another.
But that would be so hard to top.
But I feel like it's one of those things where it's like absence makes the heart grow fonder. That if we don't see a Becky and Charlotte match for a while, then when they do one down the line, we'll be more excited for it.
I mean, and I might be wrong. Maybe I'm just wrong. I'm just tired of seeing Charlotte in every title picture.
No, I agree. I'd like to see her doing other things.
Don't get me wrong. She's great. Great performer.
Yeah.
So is Becky. Becky earned it.
Yeah, I think Charlotte is a made woman in that she has all the credibility she needs.
She was made before the second she was born with her name.
But with the amount of title runs that she's had and the amount of success she's had, she's always going to be credible. Mm-hmm. And now you take that and try to build someone else up to that sort of level.
Like Becky Lynch, who was, the first SmackDown Women's Champion 2 years ago.
Yeah.
2.5 or so. And now she's finally back on top. And she can maybe do something good.
Yeah. So, the only other thing I wanted to mention about this match, though, was something that I saw on Reddit. Is that the correlation, and it's actually a very subtly well-told story, is that if you remember when Becky first won the SmackDown Women's Championship, she lost it early to Alexa Bliss. Mm-hmm. And she lost it to Alexa Bliss TLC 2016, where they did essentially the same spot that finished this match, where it was Bliss putting Becky through the table on the apron to the outside.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, so it was a nice little parallel there that showed like how Becky's changed over the years there.
So are you telling me that Alexa came up and then it took 2 years for Becky Lynch to be just as good?
Well, it took her 2 years to have the same
title shot.
It took her 2 years to have the mentality switch, I guess, is the sort of subtlety there.
Took 2 years for creative to catch up.
So,
to me, that should have ended the night.
This should have been the main event. It wasn't.
Only because of one name.
And I get it. Ronda Rousey is your draw. Ronda Rousey is your golden goose.
But not for everybody.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have made a difference to the people that are watching the show to see Ronda Rousey if she's in the second to last match rather than the last.
No.
And it definitely would have sent the pay-per-view off air better with how they ended the Becky and Charlotte match.
Well, as destructive as that match was, that should have been it.
Yeah, and on top of that, you just can't follow that match. And
I think that's what my problem was coming into this match.
Yeah, but I'll give them credit. Ronda and Nikki tried their hardest.
Yes, Ronda did.
Well, I thought Nikki was fine in this match.
No, yeah, she was. She did. She was okay.
So early on, Ronda is throwing Nikki around as she is wont to do with everyone with her takedowns.
Typical.
And eventually, Brie would distract Ronda on the outside, as you would also predict. Nikki would take advantage, pushing Ronda into the post, and Nikki would beat up on Ronda for a while, work her over, and eventually after Nikki is on offense forever, Ronda gets back in it and beats up on Nikki, takes out Brie on the outside, and she throws Brie over the announce table, I think.
Yeah.
And off that distraction, Nikki hits the rack attack 2.0 if you're counting for a near fall.
It was a close fall, too.
Yeah, it was about as close as it could have been. And Nikki would go to the top rope when Ronda climbs up after her and does a wicked sort of takedown off the top rope that leads into her armbar finish for the win.
They called it a small package.
Yeah,
that's the top rope.
That's what Cole called it.
But I rewound it and I looked. It did look like a small package just from the ropes.
Yeah.
And then when she rolled out of it, she had her arm.
I think Cole called it like a small package bomb, sort of power bomb, or...
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know it was a small package.
Yeah.
The only thing missing was the mat.
Yeah. I mean, it was... Whatever it was, it looked cool.
Yeah, it was different.
Looked pretty awesome with both of them.
But before this, though, you didn't mention that we saw Rousey go to the top rope.
Yeah, and she does the crossbody, which
it missed.
She cleared 3/4 of the ring doing, which was impressive.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
I couldn't believe how far she jumped.
I know. You don't see Rousey go up there.
No.
I was happy to see her do something, but to go 3/4 of the way across the ring, to me, was great for a woman to do. You don't see it.
Yeah. Nice spots.
Definitely.
And ultimately, with Ronda winning, just like we would expect, I hope this is the last of this feud. I can't imagine there is anything left to do with this.
I don't either. I mean, one, I don't like the Bellas as heels. Nikki plays it okay. Brie, I can't picture her as a heel. She's too soft-spoken, too nice.
Yeah, I guess in their natural personalities, Brie is more the baby face and Nikki is more the heel.
That's why, in this match, I would have rather seen Brie turn on Nikki at some point and help Rousey win.
Yeah, I mean...
Even if it's just a slap in the face to her sister when the ref wasn't looking.
I'm just not into another Bella turning on Bella and where you even go from there.
Well, you don't. I mean, you just end it.
That's it, yeah.
Just like they should do now. They should just go on to their wine company, their clothing company, and whatever else they got going on.
Their 15 businesses that they run.
I mean, they've done their time in WWE. We're not going to forget them. They're a well-known name.
Yeah.
The fact that she was engaged to John Cena made her famous. I'm not going to say that about Brie and Daniel because they were both famous.
I don't know. I think to an extent Nikki was somewhat famous, I guess.
No, she was.
But
I'm just talking crap about her.
Yeah.
But
so
overall rating?
Well, we'll get to the end though, is where...
Oh, I thought we were at the end.
Yeah, so they do the curtain call.
Oh.
Everybody on the roster, all the women, go to the top of the stage with Ronda holding her title.
Yeah, I didn't write this down, but I got a question about that. Okay, where was Becky Lynch?
She actually comes in later.
Because I didn't see her at all. And I was looking for her because I wanted to see if her and Charlotte were next to each other.
Well, I saw the picture they posted. And Becky is right next to Ronda. And they're both holding their titles up.
See, she wasn't out there when they went off the air.
Yeah. I don't know. She just came out there late, I guess.
I might have just... Maybe she was in the back and I couldn't see her in the back of the crowd, but I didn't see her at all.
Yeah, so... The age-old conversation of kayfabe being dead, but
I enjoyed this one because of the type of pay-per-view it was.
Yeah, and I get all that. It wasn't
needed.
It wasn't for me, but I'm sure that there are people that made the show feel like a heartwarming sort of ending, so I can't really crap on it too much.
No. Now, if it was just a regular... like NXT show or something, and hey, you won the title, yay, we're all here for you.
Yeah.
Screw off.
Ultimately, what I would have liked is if they do this big thing, but how we were saying, Becky wasn't noticed at first. If instead, Becky comes to the front and right in front of Ronda just holds her title up right in her face.
Now that would be something.
And that would be your... And then you turn that heartwarming moment into an angle, and it gets you excited about something as you go off the air. And you don't have to have that match for as long as you want.
No, but that could be WrestleMania 39.
It just plants that little seed in there.
Just like we saw, 3 years ago when we saw Rousey and The Rock in the ring.
Right.
It planted that seed at that moment for Rousey to be there later.
Yeah,
and look what happened.
Yeah, and then They did the segment when Ronda got signed where Kurt Angle revealed Stephanie and Triple H's plans that they wanted to manipulate you because of what you did to them at WrestleMania 31.
Yeah. I mean, that seed was there. Now, people forgot, I'm sure. People may not even known about it if they didn't watch it then.
Yeah.
But it was great how they just kept that seed small and growing.
Yeah, that's what I love with wrestling when it's done right is when you build off of something small and it's in the back of your mind for a while, but then eventually it comes back and then it grows and gets bigger and bigger. And they could have done that here, but nothing to complain about this show. This was
not really.
This was an excellent show as far as quality of matches.
Some could have been better. Some could have been shorter or longer, but overall, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I can't give this show anything but an A.
I give it an A-, but it's still an A.
Yeah. The real question, though, is what we do going forward from here, in that this was the first ever all-women's pay-per-view, and they built it up as this groundbreaking thing. If we just go back to having 2-minute tag matches on Raw and everything stays the same,
it won't mean nothing.
What was really accomplished here?
Honestly, they need to do it every year at the same time.
I think this should be a yearly event.
And let the Mae Young Classic end at this.
Yeah.
Don't do the damn Battle Royal. It doesn't mean nothing.
Yeah.
But get some real quality matches lined up.
Yes.
I loved having the legends and the Hall of Famers.
But it needs to be more about...
It's more about what they have now. If you want to use them as enhancement talent...
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Right.
Great. But don't have them in the spotlight. This is about now, not yesteryear.
Yeah. I totally agree with that 100%.
But you have to do it every year. And you can't do it, we're going to do it in this month this year and this month next year. No, it's just like every year. Survivor Series is in September, November.
Yep.
Every year in October, it needs to be Evolution. Which sucks because I really wanted Halloween Havoc.
Well, by 2019, they'll probably have 3 pay-per-views every month anyway.
Well, that's true.
we have another one on Friday.
Yeah. And I guess that depends how often they're going to go overseas to either Saudi Arabia, Australia, or Antarctica.
Oh yeah, that is something I didn't mention too. Is that they had the goal to air the Crown Jewel advertisements during this show.
Yeah, does that? I mean,
with Michael Cole hyping it up.
And to me, I'm offended because you know what? They won't show a single woman during that show.
Yep.
But yet, I'm supposed to sit here and watch them show the men advertising on the women's show.
Exactly.
I am offended. Maybe I should sue. Me too.
Yeah. If anything, just complain to sponsors and maybe
A complaint to WWE.
But money talks.
Well, money talks, yeah. But you know what? What they're doing speaks louder than that.
Yeah.
Because they're putting down pretty much every woman that just wrestled it in those last 3 hours by saying, oh, well, hey, next month we got the men doing this, and they're even better.
5 days from now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 5 days. Well, it's still next month.
Well, hey, I guess it is 5 days from now. Everyone you just saw on this show will be at home.
Yeah, you won't know.
And you can watch Shawn Michaels and Triple H take on Undertaker and Kane.
Again, for the last time. Twice. Times 2.
Yeah. Other than that, man, you got any final thoughts for this Evolution show?
No, overall, I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the matches kept me on the edge of my seat. I think there's a lot of promo segments that don't need to be there. You know, video package stuff. You know, we don't need, in a 3-hour show, we don't need an hour of promos.
Okay.
And video segments. I'm here to watch wrestling.
I didn't think they did a ton of them on this show.
They didn't do it a lot, but they did quite a bit. And
the only one I even remember is the Charlotte and Becky one.
Oh, they did one before every match. Except for the Battle Royal.
No.
I
don't know, I must not remember them. I normally like those.
Yeah, they always, every match before it started, before the people came out, they'd show what happened.
Oh, well, I guess they did one for Ronda and Nikki for sure.
And they did one with Trish and Lita.
Yeah.
I mean, I get why they're doing it, but you know what? If people are tuning in to see this, they know what happened already.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go, hey, what's Evolution? Let's go spend $50 and find out.
Well, there are people who watch pay-per-view to pay-per-view and don't really watch TV as much.
Well, then I guess they'll just have to figure it out.
And
because I'm a real fan, I'm not a part-timer.
Yeah, but of course there's also like the rewatching value of it too, is that if someone watches it 10 years from now on the network...
Well, they can add that stuff in on the network. They don't have to make me sit through it.
I've always... I mean, not really with this show, but when it's a killer storyline and they do that video package before the match that really gets you into the match, that's always worked for me.
Now, like with the Becky and Charlotte storyline, yeah, I agree. Mm-hmm. Because it's been evolving so much, and there's so much involved. But, you know, with like the Trish and Lita, Alicia and Mickey, there was nothing behind it to really show a video of. But yet they're just going to show what happened in the past couple weeks. Well,
yeah, fair enough.
The way I see it, if you're not a regular watcher and you want to know what happened, there's this little thing called Google and YouTube. Figure it out. You don't have to sit there and waste my show so we can get you caught up.
Alright, so...
I'm done ranting.
Yeah, well, we'll end it there. Try to be back here on Thursday to be able to do our Raw and SmackDown reviews and our predictions for the great Crown Jewel show, the sweet money show.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to say it right now. I don't think it will compare to what we just saw.
No chance.
You hear that, Vince McMahon? No chance in hell.
No chance in hell. You've got.
Evolution will beat every show, at least for the next year. Minus WrestleMania, maybe.
Yeah.
And that's pushing it.
Yeah. So, other than that, greatly appreciate your time here today.
Well, you're welcome. I'm glad.
I was talking to the listener.
Oh,
you know.
Hi, listener.
You too.
All two of you.
Yeah. Links for everything in the description. Not going through them today.
What? What? You do it every time.
No, we're not going to do it.
I like sitting there counting with it. 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 32 different ways to follow us.
Every way you can follow us is in the description, including my Twitter and my email, in case you have anything you want to send me there.
Like a review would be good.
Yeah, that's the last thing, is 5-star reviews on iTunes. Mine is still the lone one.
Shout out to Brock.
The first one that reviews this show on iTunes and gives it 5 stars, I will personally...
I say we call him on the air.
I will personally throw a birthday party for you.
You're not invited, but we're going to throw one for you.
I'll have a clown and everything.
I say we do a live call-in for the first 5-star review. We call them up on there.
I mean, if they want that, I will definitely...
I'll give them my phone number. We can put it on speakerphone right here.
Yes.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
So you want to be on the air? You want to be not so famous like us? Give us a 5-star review.
Yeah, if you want to reach the tens of listeners that we have here, then leave us a 5-star review and we'll call you on the air if you would like.
But think about those tens of listeners have twice as many ears.
Yeah, that's 20s of ears.
Yeah, that's 20s.
Alright, thank you all for your time here tonight. Sign us off, Chris.
Alright, we will wrestle you later. Have a good night.